What is humanity's single worst trait? Ego, which can expand just like a balloon, but when it gets too big, it explodes and leads to destruction. That part of us that needs to be above others, to be right, to be seen. But it's that part that can't bear to be wrong. We don't talk about ego much. It's like a parasite attached to the virtues of self-esteem and ambition. But if you look closely, you'll begin to see it everywhere around you and inside you. Psychology tells us that the ego is supposed to balance our instincts and our morals. When it's healthy, it helps us be self-aware, empathetic, and humble. But when it's out of balance, it becomes self-centered. It needs constant approval and feels superior to others. From there, it morphs into something darker. On a small scale, unchecked ego looks like self-absorption. People obsessed with their own affairs, who have little interest in others. But in the personal level, it destroys friendships because no one wants to be around someone who only cares about themselves. So how does ego affect us on a larger scale, and how does it turn dangerous? When people feel their identity and values are threatened, ego triggers a defensive response. It seeks dominance to validate self-worth and makes compromise nearly impossible. That's how ego can scale from one person to an entire population, until nations are at war because no leader will admit fault. Imagine how millions of people can be affected, all due to the ego of a few leaders. In our next video, we will dig into some very specific examples of current wars and how they stem from ego. And then there's social media, a global amplifier for ego. Platforms designed for self-expression have become arenas for self-promotion. Social scientists warn that the culture of likes encourages vanity and fosters fear of judgment. In other words, the louder we shout about ourselves, the more insecure we may actually be. So what do we do? The same research points to a way out. In Jewish thought, the quality of hesed, loving kindness, is understood as a way to balance ego. Acts of giving and humility dissolve the need to be the center of everything. And giving to others without receiving any personal credit or thanks is the highest nobility of all. In a world of hit opinions, conquering ego may be the most radical act of all. It's about realizing that while your opinion does matter, it doesn't matter more than everyone else's. Your worth isn't measured in how many people you can convince. True righteousness often looks like listening, admitting you're wrong, and lifting others up. In the end, ego unchecked can destroy communities. Which future we choose depends on who we decide to worship, ourselves or something bigger.